Sun's shining today. It wasn't in the forecast. It's a beautiful day. You can see behind me there, we got clear day, ocean. I was up early this morning, jumped in the ocean, and surprisingly it wasn't that cold. And there was a haze over the ocean, and then above the haze the sun was rising, and it was just beautiful, perfect start to the day. So yesterday we started our resolutions early. We just got started, right? We just made things happen. Not when, next week I'll start, or January 1st I'll start, but start today. So just get started. A lot of us think, okay, we got to get our ducks in a row and then we'll go for it, right? If I'm going to start a business, hey Sheldon, I'm going to get everything in line and then go run at it, right? It's not the way it works. You start, you pick one thing, you hone it, you focus it, and then you add to it as you go on. So with your resolutions, pick one thing and only that you can do right now. Not tonight, not later, right now. What can you do right now? Whether it's saying no to eating something you shouldn't eat, or saying something you shouldn't say, or spending money where you shouldn't spend it. Do something right now that will make the difference tomorrow. So we've talked before about people saying that they deserve it, right? I deserve that piece of cake, especially tonight. It's New Year's Eve, right? People are going to be like, I deserve that drink. I deserve, I kept my goals all year even, so I deserve that. So you don't deserve it, okay? You don't deserve to feel sick in the morning. You don't deserve to feel bad because you broke your good streak. You don't deserve it to feel like you're succumbing to some sort of a vice or some sort of a limitation on your greatness. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that having a chocolate is going to limit your greatness, but if you have made a commitment to yourself not to eat chocolate and then you break it, you're not keeping that commitment to yourself. So here's my I guess suggestion, my first key to keeping your New Year's resolutions. Okay, keep your commitments to yourself. Okay, I know what we try to keep commitments to other people as best we can. We try to be on time, super duper important. But for confidence, for being able to walk in a room and hold yourself up high, or be in the line of fire even and have confidence, it means you get to that place. You get there by keeping commitments to yourself. Okay, that's where it starts. You keep commitments to yourself. So start inch by inch, right? But make sure you're growing in your commitments to yourself. And sometimes you just have to take a change of perspective on the world. And sometimes you just gotta switch things upside down. How people drink in space. Because in space,
can't see you.
Oh, yeah, the lighting's horrible. Okay, anyway, in space, you don't have, there, is that better? In space, you don't have gravity to pull the food down. So how do you do it? So I'm going to drink this cup of water upside down somehow. Going out my nose. Hang on. I'm sure slurping a lot. So I'd get in trouble right now for slurping my soup. Oh, I won't put out my nose. So I was going to use a straw, but I know for the environment that's not good. So I didn't want to use a straw. So why is it not coming right back down my esophagus? Well, what happens is that you have these things called, I can't talk upside down, peristaltic waves that are pushing all the water down into my stomach, and it doesn't come back up, or none of the acids come back up, because my esophagus it's kind of like a straw that kind of shuts itself off, so it's a one-way valve sort of thing. Okay, well, almost there. It's actually getting a lot of air in there too. I don't want to burp on live. Sorry. I'll try to keep this. Is the blood flowing from my head yet? Yeah, kind of. Here we go. That's it. Oh, one more. Done. So, you can drink in space. Christmas, I had probably the best present ever. So I wanted to share a little story. So this Christmas we gifted our family with a trip to Mexico. And the way we did it was I had like a, what do you call it? A scavenger hunt throughout the house with different clues and such, right? And the things that were hidden were like fake plane tickets and resort brochures and, you know, different things like that. So that as they were picking it, getting it, they got a clue, and then finally they got these big suitcases. So it was great. But as we were going around taking turns on wrapping the tickets and such, I hadn't done one for myself. I did one for all the kids and Nicole, but I didn't do one for myself. So Nicole was the first one to open, and she everybody's like, oh, Mommy's going to Mexico. And then the next one was my son Lucas. Mommy and Lucas are going to Mexico. And they were kind of going around that everybody was going, but Dad didn't have one. And all of a sudden, as we're going around, everybody's like, oh, we're going to Mexico, right? Kalea, she's 10 tomorrow, so my 10-year-old started crying. And I'm like, what's going on? We're going to Mexico. This is awesome. And she's like, but you're not coming. You don't have a ticket. And I was just like, oh, in this thrill of what we're doing for them, she's thinking about me. It blew my mind. Maybe a tear or two. And then my other daughter, who's 6, she looked at her ticket, looked at me, stood up and brought me over her ticket and gave it to me and said, Dad, you can have my ticket. And I was just like, oh man, that just made my decade. So children have this charity that they're able to just, you know, think about other people. What can we do now that Christmas is over? You know, people will get back into their routine. What can we do to keep that charity, that spirit of charity, that spirit of giving, that spirit of looking out for each other, alive and well? Hey everybody, wanted to come to you live here quick from Kamloops, BC. Have the opportunity today to spend some time helping some people realize their potential and how amazing they are. Wanted to first, I got to think in, I wanted to share, sorry, this waterfall is really loud. Wanted to share a little lesson I learned this week. So earlier this week, there was a Halloween contest, or a Halloween party. Hey Laurie. And this contest, the costume contest, I got dressed up. My boys put on all their gear, so I looked like a teenager. And I was like, wiggity whack, wiggity whack. I've totally played it up and had a great time. Coming to the end of the night, and I went to help clean up. And part of this night was a chili contest and a cornbread contest. I won the cornbread contest, and my wife won the chili contest. And she was all proud of her chili, right? So I'm cleaning up. I'm going to pick up the Instapot. Instapot's fairly big, right? And pick it up, and the lid was flying this way, and the pot upside down, splat, all over the gym floor. And the gym floor in this church is carpet. So everywhere, there's chili everywhere. So I'm kicking myself all day, and then the next day, Thursday, kicking myself all day for what had already happened. So here's my question. After it had happened, could I have done anything to change the past? No, it was done, right? So because I couldn't do anything to change, I should have let it go. So to end with this quick story. There was a monk and his apprentice. They were walking along, and a lady was trying to get out of the car, and there's some dirt there. The monk helped the lady out of the car. And the lady was pretty rude. She was like, oh, whatever, get away from me, get away from me. But the monk still helped. This made the, sorry, totally distracted now. This made the younger monk furious. Like, look at how that lady treated you. That's horrible, right? Well, hours later, like 3 or 4 hours later, the young guy's still furious. Like, that lady treated you horribly. Why are you so calm and collected? And the monk said, I left that lady a long time ago. Why are you still holding on to her? So my question is, how many things that have happened in our past are we hanging on to? So let's go make the world a better place, whether it's in Kamloops or anywhere else. Everybody you come in contact with, lift them to a higher level. Have you ever really struggled to forgive somebody, like they've just, done something to you that, and it's been a couple times. Now I'm not talking about abuse, and I'm not talking about, major things here. But I'm talking about, your spouse does something, your kids do something, you have a friend that does something. That's not cool, but it's not the end of the world, sort of thing, right? So I had a little experience that somebody had, once again, kind of been rude to me in a very disrespectful sort of way. And maybe it was lack of sleep or what, but I just was holding on to this and I couldn't let go. I couldn't let go of the fact that they had done this to me again. And this is somebody, that I'm supposed to be handing my heart and like everything over to, sort of thing, right? And I just couldn't let go for some reason. And then I had another friend that he's just lost his daughter. She's only 40, and she was not feeling well one morning. Husband went off to work. She called him a couple hours later saying, I need to go to the hospital. They went to the hospital. She was in a coma a matter of hours later, and they took her off life support, like within 24 hours of the husband going to work the day before. And I was just like, whoa, like I can't afford to hold on to any sort of anger or any sort of negative feelings towards anybody, really, because I never know when the end's going to be. I never know when I'm not going to have another chance to say, you know what, I forgive you, right? How hard is that to just say, you know what, I forgive you, let's move on together, please don't let it happen again. Except, of course, if it's like an abusive situation, of course, get out of the situation. But I'm talking about things that, somebody cuts you off in traffic, somebody, doesn't cook your eggs right, or, something that for whatever reason you're letting it get under your skin. Number one, forgive today. Okay, if there's anybody in your world that you're holding on to something, let it go. If you need to talk to that person, have the courage. Here, I'll give you my courage to go do it. Like I talk to my daughter all the time, my kids all the time, about what courage is. It's not that you don't have fear, it's having fear and doing it anyway.